Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Turkey military coup attempted takeover. We're going to be analyzing this event, and it is a clear and blatant false flag. Unfortunately, YouTube did not appreciate my first video, as it was only out for 3 days. I got 5,000 views and the video got pulled. So YouTube said I had to redo it. So let's redo it and see if they approve it this time. It's kind of ironic. Anyway, the first thing you have to realize is this happened at midnight. We predicted this was going to happen ahead of time, because it happened on the 7th month. It happened, if you add up the day, in numerology, you have the day, it comes up to 7, and then, people write, dash 16, the 6 and the 1 adds up to 7. So the date is 777, which is the international distress call. It's a signal to the world that this is a false flag. It is a code, and we're going to be going through a lot of codes. We're going to be covering the cube in the background, which is the dice. We're going to be covering these numbers here, the rope, and on and on and on. And we'll just decipher it for you. Another thing, so it's midnight. People are in their pajamas. They're asleep, and miraculously, the president of Turkey announces to the people on Facebook, which even the media says he hates Facebook, to go out into the streets and fight the military and take back control of the country. Yay, Turkey! Well, I'm sorry. Does anybody know anything about military strategy? You don't take over government while the leader of the country isn't there. He was on vacation. There's your number one red flag or false flag. The next thing is we're shown this bogus scene of Parliament being bombed, and you see Parliament, and it looks like the bathroom in the background. I don't know what really it was. You see this smoke going up, and you hear this loud noise. They probably, did a soundtrack and threw in a bomb sound, and everybody's doing this duck and cover thing. Really? That was just complete bogus, if you know anything about explosions. The other thing is, so they take to the streets with the military tanks and all this military. No. If you're going to take over government, the first thing you do is you're going to walk into Parliament with your army with machine guns, and you're going to take everybody and put them in handcuffs, and you're going to take them off to jail and put them in prison. That's how a military coup is done. You don't blow up some room in the back office of the Parliament and then send troops to the streets and leaders on vacation, and I mean, come on. And then miraculously, all these people, like within seconds, there's thousands of people all over the streets. And not only that, they're dressed appropriately. I mean, there's this one guy, it's hysterical. He's wearing this black and white shirt, and it says, "Be free, keep your head up." And they all have flags, and and they're waving the flag. I've never seen so many flags before. It's just, the whole thing is just a complete mockery, and they're insulting your intelligence because they don't think you have a high enough IQ to understand what's really going on. So, moving on to the next, and then the other thing is, there's just simply not enough military. I mean, if you are a military coup taking over government, I mean, gee, you got a couple of tanks and, a couple of military soldiers in front of a bridge? Really? And then they show an airport with like 6 people holding on in one tank. They showed this for an hour. I watched it live. And they're holding back thousands of people. And come on, if you're going to take over a government and try to win the empathy of the citizens, you're not going to shoot at them. So these guys are not about to fire machine guns into their citizens that they are supposedly freeing from the totalitarian government or whatever their purpose they say there was. They're not going to shoot tanks, cannons at people. No. They're going to use tear gas. I mean, these guys should have had tear gas masks on and tear gas guns, and they should have shot tear gas in the crowd. You didn't see one tear gas. There's what's known as the mob mentality. It didn't work, so they had to pull in the crisis actors. And it's kind of like when you're on an aircraft carrier, you got your white shirts and the purple shirts and red shirts, and everybody has a purpose because it's a mass operation going on. You have to be able to color code what everyone's doing. So in this stage coup, the white shirts are the stagehands. So the mob mentality didn't work. So you got all these guys in white shirts going, "Come on, mob! Come on! Come on! Come on!" Yeah, it just didn't work. So the white shirts have to come in and pretend to take over the tanks. Excuse me, if you're a tank commander, the last thing you're going to do is open up that tank and let somebody inside. I'm sorry. The entrance to a tank, they're not getting in there. You can put some heavy duty shape charge on there and good luck getting in. You need some really massive explosives to get into that tank, and supposedly they just went, "Oh, I surrender." It's like, come on. It's so insulting what they did. And so then you see all these the black shirts are another color code. So you see white shirts and black shirts all around the tanks, which is a clear indication that it is a staged event. The crisis actors are pretending that they took over these tanks and they're standing on the tanks and taking control. And if you understand anything about how these folks work, it's just another signal that this whole thing's a false flag. Plus, they announced to the American people, "Don't try to leave the country, bunker down, hang in there." No, a military coup is taking over a country. Get the heck out of there. Okay, anyway. So, the next thing is, well, the scheduled programming was supposed to be 20 stories that shook the world in 20 years. And it's been 20 years since a military coup has been attempted. If you understand how these folks work, they love astrology, they love numerology. The way it works is you say 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 plus 0 is 2 plus 0 is 2, and then you have 20 years since a military coup. Another 2 plus 0 is 2. In other words, and then you add up the 2 plus a 2 plus a 2 is 6. So the 6 is anybody know what the 6 means? Do I have to go into that? Dynamic, satanic symbol, Illuminati, yada yada. It's another code word. Fine, we'll go up here. Well, no, I need to try to stick to my notes because there's so much to cover, and I'm just going to cover the top stuff. So then you have this CIA guy coming on board. I want you to notice this side of the face, his lips kind of droop down, his eyes are lower, the ear looks completely different than that ear. But he's pretty much head on, so you want to say, oh, he's turning his head at a different angle. Sure, he's dipping his head a little bit to the right, what makes it lower, but this in the eyes is a different color. And so here, let me and look at his hair. His hair goes way up, and here his hair is low. So here, let me just and he's wearing this blue shirt with all these symbols on it, and it's going to the left. It's his left. The left is the Luciferian way, so he's wearing his tie, signifying the people's Luciferian way. He's wearing a double mic instead of a single mic. That's another telltale sign. But if I go into this too much, my video is going to get yanked again. So I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. But basically, if you just go like this, look at the guy. Look at his hair, his hairline, his ears, his eyes are actually different colors. You'll see in a minute. Look at his nose. By the way, he has a flat nose. How many people have a flat nose? And then look at his mouth. It's all drooping down, the chin, So take a look at there and memorize that face and say, oh, this is man A. And then we put a sheet of paper here, and look, the hairline goes way up. The ears are completely different. His eyes are different. The mouth is different. He has a completely different expression. So that's man B. It looks like two different people. If you know anything about these folks, they get possessed by entities, and the entities cannot hide themselves completely, so they show through. And they show through on the left side of the face, which is the Luciferian way. So the entity that is taking control of him is completely showing up on this side of the face. So let me show that to you once again. Here's the demonic evil being taking control of him. You can even see his teeth and stuff, and he looks, I don't know. And then we go over here, and he looks like a completely different person. Alright, so moving right along. I'm probably going to get my video yanked just for doing that one. That's, jeez, oh man, I don't even know what I can or can't talk about. Probably nothing. So, alright, let's just move up here. Look at the timestamp, 5:44. So you take the 8, you take the 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 5, and then you eventually get the number 9. 9 is very significant. I can go on to an hour for that, but I don't want my video yanked, so I'm not going to go into the 9. Next we have local time. Where is local time? Well, anyway, it's edited out here. The local time is 9:51. You take the 5 plus 1 is 6. You got the 9 plus 6. 6 plus 9 is 5. Oh, we have another 6. So we have another 6 there. So we got the 6 here. We got the 6 local time. We got 666 in this video, which is really key here. Let me see. Yeah, well, I'm not going to show you the other 6. There's another 6 here. There's another 8 plus 8 equals 16. So there's a starting up here. There's a 666 code in here, which is, you probably know that is the demonic sign by now. So what's interesting is, think about this for a moment. It's called a TV program. Whenever they interrupt your scheduled program, they're like, don't worry, we'll return to your program shortly. Did you ever think about what the word means, program? They're programming you. That's what they're doing, folks, with television. They are programming you. Do I need to elucidate on that more? I hope you got that one. So let's move on to the next one. Up here we have what looks is a cube. It also looks like a dice. If you're familiar with Saturn worshiping and the cube and etc., I don't want to go into that. I'll get in a lot of trouble. But basically, so we're going to add up here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 lights in the cube. This light is part of the bridge. So don't tell me there's 6 here, okay? That is not another 6 code. This is very clearly a cube with 5, and it looks like a dice. What they're saying is nothing is working. All our plans are way behind schedule. According to the Illuminati plan, they were supposed to have martial law declared in America by in the 1980s. They are way behind schedule. Nothing's working. So what they're signifying here is we're going to roll the dice and see if this one works. We're going to do a false flag here. Military 2 takeover. We're going to put all the data into our quantum computers, artificial intelligence, and see if this is something that we can do in America and do a false flag military coup here in America. So this is they're rolling the dice and they're doing a dry run. That's what that signifies right here. If you add up these little structures, you got these archways. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one hidden. There's 8. So we have 8 archways. 8's very significant. I don't want to go into that because I'll get again, they're going to yank my video. We covered 946. So let's see. All right, so we'll cover this one next. So we got this license plate serial number. The 5 and the 5 is a code. You draw a line right down here. You take 9 plus 1 is 10, and then 10 plus 5 is 15. The 15 is in reference to the magic square. I mentioned the 9, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you notice, this also looks like a tic-tac-toe sign game. Boy, get messed with here. And in every direction, it adds up to 15. 2 plus 7 plus 6 is 15. 9 plus 5 plus 1, 2 plus 5 plus 18 is 15. I'm sorry, 2 plus 5 plus 8 is 15. And, you can go 6, 5, 4, 15. Doesn't matter what direction you go, it adds up to 15. Now, this is what's really key here. 5 plus 1 is 6. Okay, so we have 6, 6, 6. So, that is what that is referring to. You draw the line, you got the 5. Plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So it's referring to the magic square. They're saying that we want to take mastery and control of everything. In other words. Probably going to yank my video now. I think I said too much. Let's see. What else can I say? I doubt I can say much more. Well, I think this is pretty. I simplified it enough. Hopefully, it makes it through this time. Basically, the meat and potatoes. When you go into the decipher code, the way these folks think, what they're announcing to the world is that this new way is going to work. They're trying to announce to all their buddies in the world. The 13 families, the 33 Freemasons, the 400 families, etc., etc. All the folks that want to take control of this world and bring in the new world order, they're saying this new way is going to work. And this is basically an advertising video to the world that we can do this. If these folks don't have enough, they don't have a high enough IQ to catch on to what's going on. And we're gathering up all the data as I'm speaking. The quantum computers spitting through all the data, and they're trying to see if they can do this here in America. So don't let them, folks. Don't let them. God bless. Good night.